Hi, this is Dr. Linda Horton, and this is the Helpful Homeschooler. Today, I would like to discuss the end-of-year testing. Now, this is March, so usually around March, we start to think about the end of year. And we talked about before whether you're going to do a portfolio or whether you're going to do testing. I prefer a testing method for me so that the teacher knows exactly where their students are. And let me give you an example of why I really push for the end of year testing. I worked with a young woman last year who thought she had some really good curriculum. And when she did the end of the year testing, she found out that her son was really lacking in the English portion of the test. And it was all directly correlated to the curriculum that she used. So the next year, I advised her on what curriculum to use, and the next year his scores went above and beyond. Now meanwhile, everything he had tested out was all really good. So it wasn't the child, it was the lacking curriculum. So I like to test because I know it's going to show us holes, it's going to show us gaps. Say for instance that you test and the child is really poor on grammar. So the next year, you're going to want a curriculum that's high in grammar. This has a lot of grammar teaching. So I like Seton testing, S-E-T-O-N testing. It's my preference. And I'll tell you why. As with all testing, most testing, you order the tests and they send you the test and you send back the test and they score the test. They tell you where your child is in the testing. They tell you where they are on a national norm. And I like that, how many they got right, how many they missed. They do all of this for you. Now in the Seton testing, they have the Iowa test, which it requires a bachelor's degree or above to order it. And those run about $29. And then they have the CAT testing, which anybody can order. And those run in between, well, they're $29, and the Iowa test is anywhere between $29 and $39, depending on the grade. And then they have this thing, which I have never tried, so I'm not saying yes or no, but it is their online testing that doesn't require any degree from the teacher. They are doing the proctoring, the testing, so it's all on them, and everything is done online. You do it with them at a scheduled time. So that really could be a good thing if your child is really good on computer. I believe it's a lot of multiple choice answers and questions. Usually I recommend anybody 2nd grade and above be tested. For the 11th and 12th grade, they need to do an SAT. SATs are really easy to do. Go online to the SAT website. You'll find out what school is doing it, how to sign up, where to pay for it. This is essential if your child is going into a college. They need those SAT scores. I'm not sure, it depends on the child when you want to start that testing, but definitely junior and senior, because they can up their scores. You can take it as many times as you want, as long as you want to pay for it. An SAT test, there's plenty of books to tell you how to take an SAT test, and I will be doing a video on how to prepare for the SATs. Right now, we just want to concentrate on your children in your school and the end of year testing. Start thinking now, explore. You don't have to do Seton. There's plenty of places you can go. Sometimes you can go to your public school and test with their kids. Sometimes you can find a Christian school and test with their kids. The Christian school is going to charge you. The public school should not. It depends on where you live and what the homeschool climate is really about where you live. But I would really recommend that your children be tested. There's a certain time, it's called spring testing, and then there's fall testing. You can actually do both. You can do fall testing and then do spring testing to see where your children have matured in that subject. It's really an interesting thought. I always did my own fall testing when I taught a class, so that in the end of the year I would know how far they had come. It's up to you as a parent and an educator, but please prayerfully consider getting your child tested. Portfolios are wonderful. They can be beautiful. Testing is for the parent, not for the child. As always, I want to remind you that homeschooling is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And we do it together as a family. Goodbye.